One more time all together. Krishna Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari.
Haribo.
His Holiness Caru Prabhu ki. His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
You all know we are here today, especially doing this kirtan for His Grace Caru Prabhu, who is the one encourage us and to do the holy festival. As you know, our holy festival is very famous, and this is all because of Caru Prabhu. Caru Prabhu is the one when he's doing the Uttha festival, and we are like so much, and then Kala Prabhu sort of got into with Caru Prabhu and got us to do this holy festival. So all our holy festival behind is Caru Prabhu, and he left his body couple of days ago in a car accident. So we are here today doing the prayers for him. And of course, we have His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj ki. We like to request Maharaj to please.
Jai.
Maharaj requesting Kala Prabhu if you like to come and say a few words. Caru Prabhu ki. Shri Shri Radha Giridhari Bhagavan ki.
Jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah, pretty sad news to lose such an incredible devotee. Churu and his wife were planning to come here next year for Holi, so we're going to miss out on their wonderful association. So Churu was a big influence in New Varshan and putting on the Holi festival. Prior to starting Holi, we talked about it for 10 years. We were keeping an eye on what Churu was doing in his temple. And then after 10 years, we decided to do our first Holi. So we rang Churu and we asked him what we should do, how the program should work, whether we get the dyes. And he basically organised everything, or told us where to get everything, what to do and what not to do. The only thing we added to our Holi, which he says never do, was add water. Because it could get a bit un-Vaishnav. But he's talking about American, and we're Kiwis, and we're pretty conscious of all these things. And we weren't going to have water, but the fire brigade found out that actually we were having a holy festival. So the main chief rang me up and he goes, "We're a little disappointed here." And I go, "What happened?" He goes, "We heard you're having this holy festival and we're part of the community and we're not invited." And I says, "You better come down immediately and we'll work something out." And that's how the fire brigade become involved with Holi. And they haven't looked back since. And the police, it's got to the point where we were on the front police. What was it? It was like a news, yeah, which went all around the world, because when the lady that came here, she was just on her own, was covered in colours, and she went back to the office. The main guy saw this and thought, "This is just incredible." So he took a photo of her and it went all around the world that the dry cleaning was worth the pleasure which was achieved in the Holy Festival. So that was the first main PR we got. And then the dignitaries started to come and they were glorifying. Our local MP was glorifying the society. It had some work with the school. He was glorifying the school and glorifying the Food for Life and appreciating the contribution that ISKCON Auckland was doing for the community, both here and wider throughout New Zealand, through our prasadam distribution Harinam. They all know our Harinam, Prasadam, book distribution and festivals. And then if it wasn't for Charuan doing holy, we wouldn't have got the Prime Minister. Devotees are sick of coming into the foyer and seeing the Prime Minister. And they keep on saying, can you have something else? But you don't realize when you're not here and guests come, they become enamored. They think this is quite prestigious. It's like, we're hoping when Modi comes in the next couple of months that he's going to come here and then we'll change the screen and have Modi on. Donald Trump, but we could get a bit of PR about that, but it might not be too good. So we got the Prime Minister, we got the Minister of Police. You might not know, but when the Prime Minister, we offered him he could have a shower downstairs and get changed. But he said, I'm going back to the office like this, covered in dye. He hopped in the Prime Minister's limousine and he went back to the office. The Minister of Police, he was so appreciative and he was so absorbed in the whole mood that when the Prime Minister left, he turned around to Rasik and go, I'm not going, I'm staying here. And then he walked around for an hour or two, shaking people's hands, and by the time he got back here, he was completely covered. And then there's that nice speech he gave on Facebook about glorifying. He says, I've never in my life, he says, we're dealing with crime and horrible things, but I've never in my life been such an uplifting festival where everybody's happy. And I pointed out to him also that actually you don't know who's who. You don't know who's white and who's black and who's green and who's yellow. We all look the same. So he really appreciated that and he appreciated the happiness. So he spoke like that. So also we offered him the opportunity to have a shower and get changed. He says, no way, I'm staying like this. And he hopped in the limousine and also drove off. And then Charu came himself. He was following me on my Facebook page, and then all of a sudden he says, I'm coming over. Paid for himself. We put him in the B&B, him and his wife. They really appreciated it. And then Charu says, there's only one thing, I'm taking over, isn't it? He goes, I'm here, it's my show. And with Charu, they say in the spiritual world, every word's a song and every step's a dance. With Charu, every time he opened his mouth, it was a rap. So every time we said New Zealand, he'd go, New Zealand, New Zealand, across the ocean, and then we'd go, you want some prasad? Prasad, prasad. Prabhupada gave us prasad. So, and his wife says, yeah, he's as crazy as a Mad Hatter. And actually I watched a couple of videos a couple of weeks ago. He was on the main street. Did you see that? He was on the main street rapping in America. And I was thinking, he's so enthusiastic. He's such an incredible example of someone who loves to be a devotee and someone who loves to preach the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. I originally met Charu and Vaibhavi in Melbourne when we opened the Melbourne temple, and she's the one that designed it. She was very artistic. And you can also see in their community that beautiful temple. Maharaj was saying he was there, was it last year for the festival? And how beautiful it is. And that's a single couple. That's just Charu and his wife. So when you want to, you can do it. We don't have to sit around saying, I should be doing this one should be doing it. He's a person that did it. He went to America and he achieved it and he became very famous. And the local church this morning wrote a beautiful prayer, beautiful appreciation of being his association and his enthusiasm. So we owe our biggest preaching festival we do here in Yuvashan is the Holy Festival. The reason we started the Holy Festival was to try and get Westerners to come through the gate, because as everyone knows who preaches to Westerners, it's pretty hard. So we thought, let's put on the Colour Festival. Charu's doing it. And that way it's attracting many Westerners and also our neighbours. If you stay here to the end, you see the neighbours walking home with their children. The neighbours are so much in ecstasy. The parents are so much, and the kids are they're all covered in dye, and some can be walking out, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. I'm coming back next year, And the local community, the wider community, they're in ecstasy because all the businesses clean up, especially the ice cream lady. Just down the road, a lot of devotees I know have the local ice cream just next to the BB petrol station, because they tell me which ones come in and what ice cream they buy. So she and her whole crew would rush down here for Holi, rush back, open up the shop, get all the ice cream together, because she knew most of the Holi people. The fruit vendors, when are you having Holi? When are you having Holi? And I go, why? Because everyone comes through here. So this is due to the mercy of Caru Prabhu for putting on the Holi and guiding us in this holy festival. And it's going to be pretty incredible for the community. It's going to be pretty incredible for his wife to have to go what she's going through at this particular point, and the greater community. So, Caru Prabhu Ki Jai. Is he using this one?
Om Agyan Timadandasya Ginangana Shilakaya Chaksuna Militam Jena Tasmai Si Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. My mind longs for the blessed vision of my spiritual master. It cries out like a thirsty chakora bird. My thirst is not quenched, and I can find no peace without the vision of that blessed person. O Lord and Master, your face is most beautiful, and the sound of your words impart deep wisdom. It has been so long since this rainbird has had even a glimpse of water. Blessed is that land where you dwell, my dearmost friend and spiritual master. I give myself to you now and forever, O deliverer of my soul. When I could not be with you for just one moment, the dark age of Kali dawned upon me. Can we keep the children quiet, please? When will I meet you again, O beloved Lord and Master? I cannot endure the night, and sleep does not come to me without your audience. I will surrender everything to have your darshan once again. It was my extreme good fortune to meet you, O most saintly of all persons. And I will find you again in the eternal home where I am meant to dwell. There I will serve you forever, and I shall never be separated from you, even for an instant. I am forever your eternal servant, O my beloved Lord and Master. Dear Krishna, in public places I glorify your mercy, which is granted to even the lowest creatures, and which enables me, even though I am lowborn, to live in this forest of Braja, the place where your great devotees who are filled with pure love aspire to take birth, even as a blade of grass. Having accepted the renounced order of life, my home is this Vrindavan forest. My bed is the soft dust of Vrindavan. The sky of Vrindavan is my blanket, and the flowering creepers of Vrindavan are my only belongings. The moon over Vrindavan is the lamp of my hopes, and my chanting beads are counting the days until I meet the divine couple, Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Hare Krishna. Caru Prabhu ki. Shri Brajabhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. Just ask if the children could be kept quiet, and if they make noise, they can go out and play. Hare Krishna. So, an unexpected day, an unexpected occasion, the departure of a great devotee. Let us begin by saying a great disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and therefore a great devotee. Amongst my God brothers and God sisters, I see Prabhupada accepts all their services with great love and appreciation. But sometimes there stands out some devotees, both men and women, who I would like to give that epitaph, that most glorious title, that distinction of being a Prabhupada man. When I think of what my godbrothers like Caru Prabhu, who have excelled above and beyond the call of duty, we used to say in the military, above and beyond the call of duty, I think there's a Prabhupada man. And you couldn't give a better definition of such a devotee. So today, in our own way, we're observing his Tirubhav. Tirubhava. Tirubhava in Sanskrit means the disappearance day. The disappearance day of a devotee. Tirubhav. Sriman Charu Das was known for his exemplary character, perfect gentleman, always dressed as a Pukka Vaishnava. His etiquette was perfect. His compassion was perfect. And he was an innovative preacher. If you study the history of the Krishna conscious movement, beginning in this era with the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you see that with each generation down to the present day, we're counting about 550 years here, exemplary devotees knew how to innovate, meaning how to present Krishna consciousness according to time, place, and circumstance without sacrificing the tradition. This is not easy. It takes an experienced devotee. Times change, people change, situation, history changes. So you have to innovate a little bit to make the message clear to the people of that present time. Prabhupada is the perfect example. This deep wisdom of the Vedas, The special message brought by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and revealed to us by the 6 Goswamis. It's quite deep. But Prabhupada was so expert at presenting that timeless wisdom to the people of Kali Yuga, to the people of the West in the English-speaking language. We have to remember that's an extremely difficult task, but Prabhupada did it with such ease. He presented, he innovated. In Vedic times, ladies didn't live in the temple. Ladies didn't get Gayatri mantra. People didn't go out on the street and distribute books. So many things Prabhupada innovated without sacrificing the tradition. So like father, like son. I see that some of my godbrothers and some of my godsisters are able to innovate Krishna consciousness in modern times without changing the original tradition. It's a little mystical. And Caru Prabhu was the perfect example of that. He was the first one to start a Hare Krishna radio station. Who would have ever thought that the devotees could have their own radio station in LA or in Utah, where he eventually settled? Very popular. I mean, radio station means, so many songs, so many interviews, so many seminars. One time, I mentioned this the other day, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati wanted to start a daily newspaper in Kolkata. A daily newspaper, only about Krishna consciousness. So one of the local newspapers sent a reporter, a young reporter actually, I think it was his first day on the job, and he came and said to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, "You're going to start a newspaper every day about Krishna conscious events?" He said, "You're going to run out of information." And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said very cleverly, well, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that this material world is only part of his creation. He used the analogy, 1/4 of the creation. But Vaikuntha and Goloka, far beyond, they're 3/4 of Krishna's creation. So you're going to run out of information, or you're going to chew the chewed. But we go on ever fresh knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So that was in the, 1930s or so. So Caru did the same thing. He imbibed the same spirit. He innovated. Instead of a newspaper, he started a radio station. And it became very popular. And he set the example, and soon there were radio stations all over the world, Hare Krishna radio station. I remember the one in Italy. It was listened to by a good amount of the population. So he innovated. And he went to one of the most challenging parts of America, Utah, where our Mormon brothers and sisters, you could say, our Mormon brothers and sisters, Mormon church, they're well established there. And he built a temple along with his good wife, Bhaivabi. A beautiful, big, huge, temple like right out of, India, the same architecture. And he figured, how will we get people here? So he went and he met the mayor and the vice mayor, and then he met the head of the Mormon church and this and that, and then he thought, I'll get people here because I'll have llamas. You know what a llama is? It's kind of a cross between a goat and a horse or something. So he had a herd of llamas. And llamas are pretty, mellow creatures. So people would come to see the llamas. You don't see llamas in Utah. They're from Peru. So people would come to see the Peruvian llama, and they would pet them, and they'd get hungry, and they'd go to the restaurant and have prasadam. And then Caru Prabhu, in the temple room, he would give lectures. For me, he's one of the top 5 preachers in Krishna consciousness. You should go online and listen to his lectures. He just had this ability to hypnotize people by his speaking. He was such a good, so captivating, so energetic, so intelligent. He would say things so Krishna conscious, but I could never come up with that analogy. People loved it when he talked. And he was talking and talking and talking. all the time. He didn't have a big group of devotees with him. Not many devotees wanted to go to the desert in Utah, in Provo, Utah, to live. So he had a small group. So he and his wife practically did everything. She designed the temple, he ran the temple, a few devotees joined. I went there a few times. And I had the good experience. One time, every year we have this Sadhu Sangha retreat in North America, where we get all the best kirtaniers in the world, and we rent some facility somewhere in America, Orlando, New York, Dallas, Atlanta. We get about 3,000 or 4,000 devotees every year. It's over Memorial Day weekend. Many people come. It's kind of a TPs come, the GBCs come. It's like a huge family affair. Huge family affair. Krishna conscious family, ISKCON family. So one year we were having difficulty finding a place, and I kind of mentioned it to somebody. They said, why don't you go to Provo, Utah, Salt Lake City, and have the program at Charu and Vaibhavi's community? And we did it. It was fantastic. Of course, a big storm came and knocked the tent down. But then we found a high school gymnasium, and then we had the program there. And it was so nice associating with Charu. He was unique in that he was able to interest and speak to the higher echelon of society. Not many devotees can actually do that, but he did it very nicely. And he did it all with his dear wife, Vaibhavi, whom we offer our deepest and heartfelt condolences today. They were really like one body. Very often in the Vedas it's described, husband and wife are like one body. But then there's the quip that the lady's the better half of the body. That's a whole lecture, we won't get into that now. But certainly it was true, Vaibhavi. Mataji, my heart goes out to you. I cannot even imagine the suffering, separation you're going through now with your lifelong partner. It's inconceivable. It's inconceivable. So we all here today, we make an offering at your lotus feet. Our condolences are there, and if there's anything we can do from far away, please request us. If I might say, so early in this period of mourning and grieving, because grieving's there, we also grieve. As transcendentalists, we grieve when we lose an important member of our society. We may not know him, he may be serving some distance, but we're all intimately connected by working together in the Sankirtan movement. Samkirtan means, Sam means complete. Samkirtan is the complete glorification of the Lord through basically spreading the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So all Vaishnavas, directly or indirectly, everyone's significant, everyone's important. We're all involved in the same work. And when one part of the puzzle leaves, we feel the loss. We feel the loss. So we're mourning. Srila Prabhupada, in one of his offerings to his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, it's a long offering, and in the offering, there's one or two lines. He said, upon the departure of my spiritual master, I made a cry of grief. I always remember that. With the departure of my spiritual master, he said, I made a cry of grief. So mourning is there, grieving is there. We have to give people time to grieve the loss of loved ones, especially loved ones who are connected to us as family or community or even in international society for Krishna. The whole society is grieving now. This is a time of grieving. But at the same time, this is a day of mixed feelings, actually. We prepare for this moment. It doesn't come unexpectedly. Of course, it's never expected when death comes. You don't know it's coming. But in one sense, we are prepared. Our whole life is preparing for that most significant moment. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam. Krishna says, whatever one remembers at the moment of death, that state he will attain. So we're practicing to let go of this material world and become attached to the spiritual world, to Krishna, his devotees, their pastimes, that beautiful world. So that's a very significant moment. So we're grieving, but at the same time, we're also a little happy because he worked so hard to achieve that moment. And no doubt, at that moment, Srila Prabhupada arranged that Charu would be in the lap of Krishna. And we should think of him more for his service than that. Death is always an indignant moment. It's nothing pretty. It's never pretty. So therefore the samurai warriors, the samurais, those great Japanese warriors, they say, don't tell me how he left this world. Tell me how he lived in this world. Don't tell me how he died. Tell me how he lived. We don't think of that departure. We think of how that devotee spent every second of his devotional career. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Shmaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandham, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So it's sad, but it's also happy because everyone has to die. And his whole life, most of his life is dedicated, enthusiastically, very determined, working very hard, under the guidance of his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, to preach. So who can imagine his glorious destination? So that's happy. It's sad for all of us sitting here. You only got his association at one holy festival. It's sad for the International Society for Krishna Consciousness because he was in all respects the leader. And it's sad for the world. They may know or they may not know because such a wonderful devotee has left us. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking Ramananda Roy, it's a very famous part of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, very significant. When Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Roy, Dukkha madhye kona dukkha haya gurutara. He said to Ramananda, of all kinds of distress, what's the most painful? And Ramananda Roy replied, Krishna bhakta vihara vina dukkha nahi dekhi par. Famous. Apart from separation from the devotee of Krishna, I can think of no other unbearable happiness. Apart from the separation of a devotee of Krishna, I can think of no other unbearable happiness. Whether it's for the devotee, the greatest joy is to be with a devotee, another devotee, because Krishna says, one who says he's my devotee is not my devotee, but one who says he's the devotee of my devotee, he's my devotee. So we desperately depend upon devotees to become Krishna conscious. And once such a leader of that goes away, it's very painful. So it's a sad day. And unfortunately, in these most recent weeks, these most recent months, if you're kind of in tune, we're seeing so many great devotees are leaving us. It's that point in history. It's the decade of crying. My godbrother Burijan Prabhu, knowing that different godbrothers and godsisters are passing at this moment in history, he said, this is the decade of tears and crying in the International Society. I like to think of these devotees like bright lights in the dark age of Kali. And as such, when they leave, the world becomes just a little darker for me. They're like bright lights. Each and every one of them, all my godbrothers, my godsisters, the second generation, the third generation, many of you are the fourth generation. By your very life as Vaishnavas, you're setting a wonderful example and you're sharing that example with the whole world. That's the real light. And when a light goes out, the room becomes a little dark, just like we have these lights here. 1, 2, 3 go out, a little darker. So with the departure of these disciples of Srila Prabhupada, or their followers, or their disciples, Kali Yuga becomes a little bit darker. It's kind of sad. But there's also joy in a devotee's departure. Just like in the famous case of my godbrother Jayananda Prabhu. They return back home, back to Godhead. Just as Lord Chaitanya is the most merciful incarnation of Krishna, I would say Srila Prabhupada is even more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. One time he was giving a lecture in Atlanta, and he was describing how strict one has to be in following the principles, getting free of material desire, chanting Krishna, 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 hey, to go back to Godhead. And all the young devotees in the audience, we were all young in those days, like, oh my God, am I going to make it? It's such a high standard. So then Prabhupada, he finished, and he got up and he threw his chadar, he said, all right, you don't have to be 100% freed from material contamination, but at least 80%. Everybody went, whoa, that's a high standard. So then he said, all right, 75%. Oh, then Prabhupada said, 71%, nothing less. So Prabhupada's very merciful. In fact, when Jayananda Prabhu left this world, he was alone in his room at the Los Angeles temple. He had leukemia. Everyone knew the moment was coming. And but you never know when, so for Mangal Artik, everyone in his room went to Mangal Artik, and they left a tape playing of Srila Prabhupada chanting Hare Krishna. It was continuous. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, those famous tapes. And he left during that. So Prabhupada heard that. Devotees told him that. So he wrote a posthumous letter to Jayananda. Posthumous means after the person's departed, you write a letter or you send a message or whatever. So Prabhupada wrote a letter to Jayananda. He wanted it published in the Back to God magazine. My dear Jayananda, please accept my blessings. I want to thank you for all the wonderful service you did for me during your lifetime. You're the first person to give me $25,000 to print Nectar of Devotion. What's more, you inaugurated the Ratha Yatra festival in the Western world. I'm so indebted to you. Then he wrote, if you had any amount of material desires, you've gone to Svargaloka. And there you can fulfill those desires while continuing the practice of Krishna consciousness and elevate yourself to Vaikuntha. But then he wrote, but because you were hearing the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra when you died, I say you've gone to Krishna Loka. I say you've gone to Krishna Loka. How merciful is Srila Prabhupada. So I would take an educated guess, because I knew Chura very well. I'm confident that Caru Prabhu falls into the same category. Because he just gave his life, he gave his youth, he gave his middle age, and he gave his old age in service to his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. So I'm sure, I'm not a mystic, but we've all experienced how great is Srila Prabhupada's mercy. So a devotee leaves, he's not before our vision anymore. So therefore, there's another term for this day besides Tirubhav. Tirubhav means the disappearance day. There's another name for this day, Antarjnana Lila. Antarjnana Lila means the disguise of becoming invisible. In other words, the body of a great devotee becomes invisible, but it's just a disguise because in essence, they're always with us. They're always with us. In their teachings and the examples they set. Just like Prabhupada wrote to me one time. He had visited our temple, I shared this I think the other day. He visited our temple in Detroit. I was not yet initiated, Prabhupada was leaving, I wrote him a letter. I'm sorry, I'm sad that I didn't get initiated, but I'll keep on trying. And Prabhupada wrote me back an areogram with his own hands. My dear Bhakta Brian, please accept my blessings. Thank you so much for your letter, including your life savings of $10 for my book fund. I have information from the temple authorities. You're doing very nicely in Krishna consciousness. Continue following the 4 regulative principles. Chant your 16 rounds a day. And surely, in due course of time, I will accept you as my duly initiated disciple. For me, that was already the connection there. Your ever well-wisher, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Then postscript, P.S., P.S. Because in my letter I wrote to him, I'm missing you so much. He said, I can understand, he wrote to me, I can understand your feelings of separation because I'm also missing my Guru Maharaj, but I always feel that he's watching over and protecting me. I always feel that he's watching over and protecting me. So in so many ways we can understand that, but of course the spiritual master, the senior devotees, dear friends and godbrothers, they're with us always because of their instructions and because of the example they set. So we have a lot to learn from Caru Prabhu. But let us remember that a devotee is always in an upward journey. Yes, it's a time of grieving, but he achieved something very great. He was serving Krishna, and he died at that moment. He was serving Krishna. And devotees are always in an upward journey. By dint of their devotional service, they're going up. And by dint of materialistic life and sinful life, you're going down, down, down. You take the low road, I'll take the high road. You'll go to hell and I'll go to heaven. It's a Christian saying. We're gradually, everyone has their own awakening, their own growth in spiritual life. Confucius said, the longest journey begins with the first step. So be satisfied if you're chanting, you're offering your food, you're reading. You may not be out there on the streets or traveling, giving lectures, worshiping the deity, but if every day you're doing something, it adds to your spiritual bank account. We're going upward. No matter what happens, we're going upward. Even death means upward. Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pasyanti Suryo Deviva Chakshur Atatam. Just as the sun rays in the sky are extended to the mundane vision, so in the same way the wise and learned devotees always see the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu. Such a devotee was Caru. Another word for this Tirubhava is Lalgata. Lalgata literally means the red day. This is Brajbas language. We have our Hindi, but we have our Brajbas. That's our language. What language do you speak? Brajbas. Can you speak it? No, but I want to. So this day is called Lalgata in Vrindavan. It means the red day. I asked one Goswami, Padmanabh Goswami, what does this mean, Lalgata, the red day? He said in Vrindavan culture, red represents the meeting of one's beloved. The meeting of one's beloved. So when a great devotee departs, it's understood they are joining their beloved Radha and Krishna in their eternal pastimes. Therefore, Lalgata. Another interesting name for this day, Tirubhava, used again in the Vrindavan culture, our culture, when a devotee leaves this world, is Kunjvas. What is the day? Oh, it's his Kunjvas. His Tirubhav, Galat. This is his Kunjvas. Why? He just died. Why are you saying Kunjvas? Because Kunjvas refers to eternal residence in the groves of Vrindavan. In other words, it refers to that day that a devotee attains eternal residence in the kunjas of the groves of Vrindavan. Who knows? We asked Srila Prabhupada one time, Srila Prabhupada, who are you? He said, if I told you, we said, who are you in the spiritual world? He said, if I told you, you'd faint. So these things that never... to think the glories of chanting Hare Krishna, the glories of devotional service, the glories of being a follower of the founder Acharya, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to think these things are exaggeration, it's an offense. Yet another name which refers to the disappearance devotee, is Anand Vishranti Titi. Anand Vishranti Titi. It means the day of resting in bliss. You've been working so hard, take a break. The day of resting in bliss. And the last name I found in my studies was used in the olden days of Vrindavan, like around the time of the six Goswamis. And, at that time, the kings of Jaipur, or Jai Singh II actually, he built the city of Jaipur to give Govindaji protection. So when one of those Rajrishis who were servants of Govindaji, when they passed away, it was called Vijay Titi, meaning the day of victory. And it was used when Rajput kings who devoted their whole lives in devotion left this world. Now, a very interesting fact is that a Tirubhava, the celebration, of course, Caru passed away a couple of days ago, but in principle, we're observing that festival, Tirubhava. The disappearance day of a devotee is often celebrated with more joy in our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, in Vrindavan and Bengal, than the appearance day of that devotee. Why is that? I've seen it, actually. I've seen it in Mayapur, in the Gaudiya Math. Maybe not so much in our ISKCON institution yet, but technically in our tradition, the disappearance day of a great or wonderful devotee, it's a big, big celebration, more than the Vyasa Puja. Like what? So I could see it. They're celebrating. Oh, yeah. Is this the Vyasa Puja? No, this is the disappearance. So I think I should all be crying. So I found out that's because when a devotee is born, his glories are yet unknown. But by the time he leaves this world, his character and his deeds are enshrined in history and can be celebrated with in a great and wonderful way. The analogy given to me was like the lotus flower, whose beauty is hidden at night. If you go to the pond at night, because lotus flowers, they open up with the dawn and the light of the sun. By 12 noon, they're fully open. But in the darkness, they're closed. But at noontime, they're fully open. So when a devotee is born, we're in ignorance. We don't know who he is. We don't know what he can do. Either he's the father or the son of the father. To be the servant of a glorious master is the greatest achievement that we can have. And by his mercy, we may accomplish some things. And together we can accomplish wonderful things in spreading this Krishna conscious movement. So therefore, just like Srila Prabhupada, when he was born, no one really knew for the few days who this Abai was. And then they called an astrologer, and the astrologer said, this devotee, this little boy, one day he'll be the richest man in India. And then he said, but he'll give that up, and he'll travel the world and open 108 temples for Krishna. You get a little peek about who Srila Prabhupada was. So there was a celebration. But the Tirubhav, when the devotee leaves, by that time there's a record. And whose record is greater than Srila Prabhupada? For us, he's the greatest devotee ever known. And his followers, like father, like son. Generation after generation, not just my first generation, our first generation, second generation. Much of the responsibility is now falling into the hands of the second or third generation. Because the current of mercy is as powerful as it was 500 years ago or during the time of Srila Prabhupada. Everyone has the facility of being blessed by Srila Prabhupada through the Guru Parampara. So there's a devotee who took full advantage of that, the son of the father. So today and the days that follow, you'll see many devotees recounting the victories of Caru Prabhu. It's all over Dandavat, it's all over the internet, all the wonderful things he do. And this churning the glories of a devotee, a departed devotee, gives us great solace. Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. That formula, each of those personalities, Hari means Krishna, Guru means spiritual master, and Vaishnavas, each of those personalities is essential to our progress. One is not more important than the other. They're all dependent upon each other. So, as one might lament when the Lord left, we hear in the prayers of the Vaishnavas, when Lord Chaitanya, Yaya Nilo Premadana, or when the spiritual preceptor leaves, or when the Vaishnava leaves. The intensity is the same, because without the Vaishnavas, living in the association of Vaishnavas, we'll begin to appreciate our spiritual masters. And by appreciating and serving our spiritual masters, we learn to understand who is Krishna. It's a transcendental science. So it's a day of lamentation, it's a day of joy. Just remember, our loss is another group of devotees' gains. Because devotees, if they come back to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's the desire of the spiritual master, it's the desire of Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're born again into an association of devotees. So that's glorious. The final words of Gaur Mohan De. Who's Gaur Mohan De? He was Prabhupada's father. He was on his deathbed. The last words he said, may I be born into a family of devotees, may I eternally have the association of Vaishnavas. So our loss, they're having a big, Churu has come, he was a disciple. We're lamenting, and it goes on and on like this. Sambhog means association, Vipralam means separation. These two are intimately connected. But by missing him, our affection for Vaishnavas will go stronger and stronger and stronger. So, you'll hear many glorious things about him, and rightfully so. This is our solace. We talk about these devotees, especially soon after they leave. We should actually appreciate the Vaishnavas now, before they leave. When we think, why didn't I associate or not? I feel this. We should associate with each other as if we'll be separated tomorrow. And this is the advice of Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Gita Vali. He writes, you should all remember Srila Kaviraj Karnapura, Srila Kavi Karnapura, and his family members, who are all sincere servants of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You should also remember the father of Kavi Karnapura, Shivananda Sen. Always remember that all these Vaishnavas who strictly follow the path of Srila Rupa Goswami, and remember they are always absorbed in bhajan. If you actually want residence in the land of Braj, then you must remember all the Vaishnavas who are and will always be followers of Rupa Goswami. He's encouraging us. So, I feel that Caru Prabhu's, he's where Prabhupada wants him. One time Prabhupada, one of my godbrothers said, Swamiji, where are you going to go when you die? Prabhupada said, I plan to go to Patala Loka and continue with the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's surrender. And of course, whatever our destination is, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he enlightened us. For he inscribed on the Samadhi of Srila Haridas Thakur, he reasons ill who said if Vaishnavas die when thou art living still and sound. A Vaishnav dies to live, and while living tries to spread the holy life around. All glories to Caru Prabhu, his glorious service in this life, and his service to Srila Prabhupada forever and forevermore. Hare Krishna. So a kirtan with mixed emotion. This is the turbulence of bhakti, the different emotions in the heart. Srila Prabhupada ki, all his sons and daughters ki, all his spiritual granddaughters and grandsons ki, all the devotees forever and forevermore. Gauranga! He Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Sri Krishna Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Sri Krishna
Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Namruchi. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, chant down. Go.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Go.
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Yellow.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
mantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Sham,
Hare Rama,
Wonderful,
Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Kirtan!
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga, boom! Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga. Oh, 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 Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jai, Gaur Hare. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Jai, Gaur Hare. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Jai, Gaur Hare. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Jai, Gaur Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura. Yeah. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura. Gaura, Gaura. Yeah. Hey, Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda Ram. Hey, Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda Ram. Hey, Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Gaur Hare. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Jai, Gaur Hare. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Gaur Hare. Oh, Nitai Gauranga Gaur. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Yuga Dharma. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, forever and ever. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Can't dance. Can't dance.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is it. Going home. Radha-shyam, Vrindavan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Narottam, Srinivas, Shamananda. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Go, go! Go, go! Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, go, 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 go! Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Okay, ready? Here we go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram. Kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, here we go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. One more. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Shri Shitai Gaur Prem 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 Premanande. Nitai Gaur Prem 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 Premanande. Gaur Prem 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 Premanande. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shira Balabai ki, Caru Prabhu ki, Welcome back to Godhead ki, Lord Jai Om Shri Pai Paramahansa, Hari Bhattikachaya, Silsilat is the ISKCON Foundation, Srila Prabhupada ki, Bhakti Kori Vaishnava ki, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakti, Sri Radha Krishna, Gopinath, Shamakund Radhakund, Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Brajamuni Shri Vrindavanam, Guri Mahapadam, Gangati Mudamari ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Tulsi Maharani ki, ISKCON Divinity Founder, Service of the whole world. Caru Prabhu K, back on back to Godhead K, Glory to the Assembly devotees, glory to the Assembly devotees, Glories to the Son of the Devotee. Oh, glories to Guru. Glories to Gauranga. Kirtan forever! So I'm going to take this opportunity now that we used to say in the early days, stay high forever. And all the hippies became happies by learning this is the real way to be high forever. And many great devotees have given us little tidbits, little secrets about the glories of the holy name to increase our faith in chanting so that we chant more and more and more and more and more. One such great devotee was a disciple actually of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu was traveling around South India, he came to Maharashtra. He met one devotee named Tukaram. He initiated him. Tukaram became so absorbed in the chanting of Hare Krishna, he said the following. If you're lying down and chanting, the Lord will come and sit with you. And if you're sitting and chanting, Krishna will come and stand next to you. If you're standing and chanting, Krishna will come and dance with you. And if you're dancing and chanting, Krishna will come and embrace you. Wow. So please repeat after me. If you're lying down and chanting, Krishna will come and sit with you. If you're sitting and chanting, Krishna will come and stand next to you. If you're standing and chanting, Krishna will come and dance with you. And if you're dancing and chanting, Krishna will come and embrace you! Haribo! Bhagavan Shri Krishna Ke, Tukaram Prabhu Ke, Caru Prabhu Ke, back home, back to Godhead Ke, take all the 14 worlds with us Ke, Kalasambhara Prabhu Ke, Kalasambhara Prabhu Ke, our illustrious temple president Kalasambhara Prabhu Ke, Go Premanande! Good night. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Sweet dreams, sweet dreams. Hare Krishna.
Praying on tomorrow?
Yeah.
You want me to sign it?